everyone. Welcome back. This is webinar number 10, Tuesdays with Tom, talking about means of fundraising and grants and all that good stuff affiliated with nonprofits. Again, I'm Tom Camacho. Got about 25 years of experience with fundraising and with writing grants and all that good stuff in nonprofit management and strategic planning and all those goodies. This is, again, webinar number 10. I'm focusing these on kind of equine-based nonprofits. That's kind of been my focus for the last, ever since getting Sawyer, my Mustang. But this works for any animal nonprofit. Actually, any nonprofit, you can use the same structure. So if you want to share it with people that you know that are running a nonprofit and could use some information, these webinars are free on my website. So I'm going to give you that information. Will be on the last slide where you can come and see all that good stuff. All right, so let's go forward. This week I want to talk about sponsorships and acquiring sponsorships, kind of where to look for them, and how to match those with your mission and your vision for your organization. So let me try this sharing screen again. This is always a scary time for me. Let's see if it works. All righty then. My skills are not getting any better. So let me move this over here. All right. So here's the agenda for this, and it's going to be what are corporate sponsorships. So we'll talk about that really shortly. This won't be a long one, just kind of going through some of the basics. I'm not going to go too in depth. And like I've always said before, if you have questions, please just reach out. My phone number and everything is going to be on the last slide of this presentation. So yeah, just reach out if you have direct questions. And if you have ideas of other webinars that you'd like to see, just let me know. All right. The second part of this agenda will be strategic steps to get started with corporate sponsorships. Then 6 steps to find a sponsor. Types of sponsorship events, so different kind of fundraising ideas that corporate entities can participate in with you. Insights from the nonprofit community, and then key takeaways for success for your strategy. So what are corporate sponsorships? They are partnerships in which a business supports a nonprofit. Now, these businesses can be just local small businesses. It doesn't have to be, your big craft foods or any of that. It could be your mom and pop stores in your community that actually, if the way you want to look at these sponsorships is it's really advertising. So this is businesses and corporations looking for a way to reach new customers through philanthropic efforts, and because this makes them look good, and it's a cool thing. It's not a commercial. It's another way kind of to get out to the public, and like I said, it makes them look good. So that's why they do this. The first kind of way that they do it is financial support. So it's direct funding for programming, for events, for your operations. So it's money. The next is kind of in-kind services. So they can, depending on what kind of business it is, they can donate goods. They can donate professional services, or they can give discounts. They give coupons that you can use with your organization. And actually really good auction items a lot of times come out of the in-kind services from products, and like if different businesses that do service like plumbing and things like that, they can give coupons out that you can raffle off too, and things like that. Volunteer resources. A lot of these organizations have a volunteer coordinator within, especially the larger ones. I know that Kraft Foods, I don't know why I keep bringing that one up, does have that where their people go out. And a lot of the banks do it too, they'll go out and be part of your 5K run or whatever you're doing as far as your fundraising. So now you can secure these partnerships with tiered packages, aligned business partnerships, and strong event and digital visibility. So really kind of building those relationships with these businesses and down the line, it can really help you out because so a lot of the time these organizations will come back and do it again. So strategic steps to getting started, you got to lay your groundwork before you make your ask. So have everything outlined into a kind of a short elevator speech so that you know exactly what you're doing, what you're asking for. You know, you want to keep your elevator speech for your organization in mind, know your mission statement, be able to recite that really well. So you're going to first identify your assets. You're going to document what you can offer. How much of an audience reach are you going to be able to give them? Is there a booth space available for them to set up a booth and bring some of their products and then give them out or sell them? I mean, it depends on how you do that. Are you going to put them in a newsletter? Are you going to have media coverage? It's really important to have media coverage for your event. You want to do it anyway. I mean, it's the news channels, especially in the smaller communities, they're always looking for something, and they're always looking for something positive, which kind of counteracts everything that's going on in the world today. But yeah, the media coverage, I try and push for that for every event that I do. It doesn't make any difference. I'll just reach out and that all I'm going to say is yes or no. So you're going to review the IRS guidelines so to ensure the agreements qualify as tax deductible sponsorships. You have to make sure that those are like that because if you start to put stuff into your 990 that is not actually tax deductible, that's going to be a problem for you down the line, and it's probably going to be a problem for the business down the line, and you won't get them back. So, so acknowledge that it's a sponsorship rather than paid advertising too. That's got to be clarified on your financials. 3 is to research aligned businesses. So you want to target companies that share your values or already sponsor causes similar to yours. Really watch events, look at flyers and things like that are out. I look at a lot of bulletin boards and see who's kind of sponsoring them. And if it's a similar organization to yours or a similar event to yours, just you can reach out to them. Like I said, they could say yes or they can say no, and no loss either way. So there's a gain if you say yes, but yeah, so always just kind of do that and target companies. You can just kind of look. I'm always looking at other people's websites and seeing who's sponsoring them, and then I watch the news too, and I see what organizations are coming in. Like we've got a new security company coming into Albuquerque, and it's going to be a huge facility. So hundreds and hundreds of thousands of square feet they're increasing to. So I'll reach out to them and I'll say, these are the organizations I'm working with. Would you guys be interested in sponsoring or helping with events and things like that? Draft a tailored proposal. So once you identify those target companies, you're going to, same with your grant proposals, make sure that it's aligned with that company's mission and vision statements, not something that's way off in left field that they wouldn't probably, really be worried about or even be interested in sponsoring. So tailor it that way. Just always use their language in your proposal, and yeah, so then submit that way using that, and it makes it more understandable for them, and it shows that you've taken an interest in their business. 6 steps to finding a sponsor. This is kind of a roadmap for landing your first corporate sponsor. Like I said before, just start with the small businesses. Ask the locals for help. Start nearby, pitch small businesses close to home, and scale the ask to their size. Yeah, so don't ask for $20,000 if it's a mom and pop. little store that's, not gonna be able to do that. So you don't wanna scare them off. Find similar views, approach companies with stated values and goals that mirror your mission. So that's kind of the same thing that I said before about drafting the proposal letter is really kind of streamlined so that you are approaching the companies that are going to be interested in what you're doing. Build budget tiers. So a lot of the times you're gonna have a letter with just corporate level, you name them whatever you want, but you're gonna put 5,000 to 10,000, whatever that is, and then you're gonna kind of designate what they get at each level. So are they getting a booth? Are they going to be able to come out and talk as part of a presentation that you're doing? Just all those different things. You're going to put that into the different levels. And you start your base level is just going to be maybe a small ad in your flyer or in your brochure, whatever you're doing. So you can contact me and I can give you examples of that if you want. I have a bunch. So you're going to craft creative proposals. So things outside of the box. It's not the same as grant proposals. Not that your grant proposals are going to be dry, but you want to kind of excite these people, and because they're going to be reaching out to people that are going to be prospective clients of theirs. You want them to kind of be excited about what you're doing, so they feel like they can bring that excitement to others and new customers for themselves. So make them creative, play around a lot. I do. Look for companies online, research prospects and past sponsors, and then reach out promptly. So yeah, like I said, I look on the websites, and you want to look at the ones that are doing it recently. So if somebody's funding a 5K, make sure that it was in the last 6 months or a year that they sponsored that 5K, whoever organization you're looking at, because they may have changed their views. Not that it's a wasted ask if it doesn't happen, but it just kind of streamlines your time, because your time is valuable, and that's part of your organizational capacity, and you really don't want to waste it. You want your time to be spent on your programming. This is all important stuff that you need, but you really want to be able to be serving who you serve first, not working on the administrative and organizational stuff like this so much if you don't have to. You're going to explain your goals, share your objectives, and show exactly how their support will be used. So it's not restricted funding. So you don't have to say, this money's going to be going just towards shoes for youth that are running in this 5K or whatever like that. It doesn't need to be that, but just kind of the area that it's going to be. It's unrestricted funding. So, I mean, you can use it pretty much any way you want to, but you want to be responsible to that sponsor. And, if you say you're going to do something, just do that and be really transparent about it. It doesn't matter. You can ask for sponsorships for other pieces of your project or whatever too. And, just designate that way. But I try and be transparent. I try to always have that money go exactly where they say, because that's what they wanted. So, yeah. Types of sponsorship events. So this is kind of just a high level overview. You can do anything. There's so many things you can do, but galas and dinners are a big one. Those are good for larger organizations. For the smaller ones, sometimes that doesn't work because they're expensive. And then it takes a lot of time to be able to put those together. So they're high ticket formal events with exclusive visibility, VIP seating, and premium networking. So they're networking events. And sometimes you can take these galas, and if there's a co-op of nonprofits, where there's several nonprofits as part of a benefit or something like that, you can join that and just be part of it, and then you just designate how much, what the split is with the whoever's there. That way you can do a larger gala event like that if you're a smaller organization. But otherwise, they're tough to do. They are very tough to do. But they're a lot of fun. You can get celebrities there and things like that. So there's pros and cons to it. Again, you can reach out to me if you have questions like on that. Peer-to-peer athletics. So those are the 5Ks, the walkathons, the golf tournaments. And even, if you're a smaller organization, it's okay to do a golf tournament, a small one. Sometimes you don't have to use the whole course. You could do a 9-hole on an 18-hole course and but just do it that way. But again, it takes a lot to do those. Community festivals and fairs, these are great. You could set up a booth in those as part of like another co-op or nonprofits are just talking about what they're doing. And you could have sponsorships right there and ask, for levels. You can do games. Yeah, we did things like the thermometer where we showed how much uh, how much was being donated and all through corporate sponsorship ideas and things like that. So yeah, there's cool ways you can do that. It can be a lot of fun. And some, the businesses will be out there, and you can go to the for-profit fairs also and kind of talk to some of the businesses there and say, this is who we are, because you're already going to have a booth there. Just walk around and network. Networking is such a crucial thing with fundraising. It's just so important because you really, they spend so much time with the written word and so many emails, and you're just inundated with all kinds of that. And human interaction is kind of missing. So, and any networking event like that you can do, just go and do it and tell them about what you're doing and what you need. So educational conferences, there's a lot of seminars and symposiums and things like that, and even webinars that you can be part of that you can put your ask in, or just be a speaker in some of those and just say this. Always throw it in there what you're doing. Just say, this is our programming, this is what we've been doing, this is kind of the struggles we've had, and anybody else have the same kind of struggles, and then just say, as a way to get through some of those struggles, we've crafted some sponsorship ideas, and this is what we've done, and they work. Intimate cultivation events. So these are gatherings that build deep ties with high net worth supporters. Again, this is going to be the large organizations, unless it's somebody else's benefit and there's corporate people there. Then it's again the networking. So it's okay to do that. It's ethical to go in there and as a nonprofit and walk around and talk and say, this is what we do. It's kind of similar to what's going on here, which it would probably be a similar event for there, and just build those relationships. There was a theater in Glencoe, Illinois, that was just about to go under. It was a very very small little theater building they had, and they reached out. They just did things like this with the events and just talked to everybody, and they raised $20 million. And they have a state-of-the-art facility now in Glencoe that is just great. And they just did it by having conversations with people. There was a couple of grants involved with it too, but it was mainly from the community. And it was just absolutely amazing, that one. Insights from the nonprofit community. What keeps corporate sponsors committed for the long haul? So once you get them in, you want to keep them, especially it's good for them because they have an annual event or whatever that they can keep doing with you that people start to recognize, which is one of the main things about marketing and branding, is that it's repeated and you know what it is, and it just is kind of second nature to you. You just know that's coming up. So having those relationships like that are just absolutely astounding and amazing. And you can raise a lot of money like that. And it's just a good partnership to be able to do that. And you can make asks down the line too with those corporations. You can say, this is what came up here. We're trying to start this new program. We're having a little bit of difficulty. Can you guys help us out with it and make it newsworthy and get them on the news? And a lot of times you just get that done. So, and then you want to deliver and you want to report back. So quarterly impact updates are the number one driver of renewals. Absolutely let them know what is going on. Let them see their brand, their logo, whatever, on what you're doing. Like what I have behind me right now, when you're talking and you're talking about a program that you're doing or a project that you're doing, and you're working with that sponsor, put your logo on one side and put theirs on the other, so that it is always up and out there, and they're getting that benefit of that marketing strategy. That's what makes them come back. If your bottom line, if you're helping them sell their product, then they're gonna want to do it again. So lasting partnerships grow from consistent communication and clear proof of impact. So not a single gift, just want to continue to make impact. If you're working with disabled youth, you want to make sure that they have consent and all that good stuff, and all your letters and everything to make sure that they're agreeable to sharing their image and all that. But you want to get that to the funder or to the corporation, and let them be able to have that and use it in their marketing strategies. So key takeaways for success. Again, align your missions. So what your mission and vision is aligned with the corporate sponsor, potential sponsor's mission, vision. Just figure out a way to match it up. Even if you use Chat GPT to kind of look, you can juxtapose the two missions and see how they meld, and then come up with language of, don't use the Chat GPT language, change it to your own, but it can give you that plan and that basis for being able to do that. Prioritize mutual value. So what are they going to get for it? What's the reach? How many people are you going to reach? What's your demographic? Who's your target beneficiaries of your of your project or your program, and match that up with what they're looking for. And then do the logo placement, like I said. Give them VIP access and speaking slots, particularly with your seminars and workshops and things like that you're presenting. Let them come out and talk about what they're doing and how they're helping you. So, that they may find another nonprofit that might be attending your seminar that they want to use for themselves for down the line too, to help again with their bottom line. And like I said, always maintain those relationships. Give them. I give too much. I do. I just am in constant communication. I send pictures. I send testimonials. They don't have to read them. They can. Or I call them and I tell them, do you want me to do this interview? This great thing happened, and wanted to be able to share it with you guys, for you guys to be able to use that too, for what you did. So that's kind of it. You should want to shift the focus from a one-time donation to a mutually beneficial, lasting business relationship. And that's what it is. It's a business relationship. So don't strictly look at it as fundraising. It is, but it's a relationship. It is a marketing strategy, and it's mutually beneficial to both the corporation and to your nonprofit. So that's all for today for the sponsorship section of this. This is all of my contact information. Like I said, please feel free to reach out anytime. If you have questions, if I don't know it, I'll find a way to get the information for you, and I'll share it with you. This is a service organization that I've started, this equine fundraising services, support services. It's, I don't look at it like a huge business thing for me as far as, you know, make it a high salary or anything like that. It's mainly about the service, and it's mainly about giving back to communities and making a difference uh, for right now the equine based nonprofits, equine assisted learning and equine assisted psychotherapies and therapies are super important to me right now. I'm training my Mustang Sawyer as a therapy horse right now. So that is what drives me. And that's what I look forward to being able to do right now. There's other organizations I do help with, and I'm committed to those too. But this is really, really, really strongly where my heart lies. So, yeah, like I said, reach out. That's my information there. This will be on my website, so you can feel free to go to my website. It's right there, equine healing arts fundraising.com. Go on, peek around. There's this is, like I said, this is number 10. We're gonna do I think 25 of these. And then I'm gonna take suggestions from any of you that have them. So I'm wrapping up. I know I talked too long. Sorry about that. But you guys all have a great day and a great week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.